Hi, so I don't know if this video will really matter to anybody or if it even matters to me because I convinced myself it doesn't really matter if I make this or not. But I just kind of woke up thinking about this and think about it sometimes, and it's hauls, and it's like a type of video that's trendy to make on YouTube. And I have ambivalent feelings about it, and this is a word I like because when I learned about it in high school a long time ago, our teacher told us like it's about feeling negative and positive at the same time about something, and I think that's really human and interesting. So I wanted to talk about my ambivalent feelings about hauls. Um, so I'm gonna say the good things first and then the negative things second because I don't want to like leave on a happy note and then be like, cool, because it's not that simple. But I do think it has both equally valid good and bad things. So anyway, sorry, getting to the point. Okay, I think that hauls can be good because I'm looking to the side because I have like my points on the screen, sorry. One way I think that doing a haul video could be a healthy way to grow and share could be that I think that buying things throughout our life, which is something that is a big part of life, whether we like it or not nowadays. Me personally, I'm interested in aesthetics and like what I like visually because as someone who draws and would, I call it like what I do for a living, so I like visuals, and visuals that you enjoy can teach you about yourself, especially what you wear and what you make your body look like and stuff like that. So that's really interesting aspect of like, I guess you can find that through being a consumer and how you buy things and what you buy. So you can grow like that and you can discover who you are. And I think it's healthy to find out what you like by the choices you make and kind of have fun with it and be yourself and realize that you can take risks and things don't matter as much as you think they do. And like, anyways, these are all things that women and men learn through clothing and all kinds of choices they make by what they buy. And I think that's really good and positive because they're big parts of our lives and our confidence and stuff like that. And also I think that like if you're making haul videos and people are responding and people are interested in seeing this kind of thing, and I think it's cool because you can share and it's kind of like a show and tell, which was, I think it's a big way to learn about people and their interests, and like it can also break down barriers of shyness. And like there's a lot of people who are really nervous about the things they like and they think, oh, nobody likes what I like. And then you go on YouTube and if you look up hauls of what people are buying at stores for their house or for themselves or anything at all, makeup or whatever, you can find there's a lot of people you can relate to, and there's a lot of people who like dolls or like candles or anything that you can like in this world. So it's really fun to share and like the same things as other people or like different things. You can learn that people are different than you. So anyways, you can learn a lot about people and yourself and aesthetics and things like that. So I think that that's a very positive thing about hauls, and also just the fun aspect. You can kind of like not be too intellectual about things and just say like, you know, I'm a human and I went to the store, so let's just look at what happened and stuff like that. So anyways, those are good things, I think. I think another good thing that I almost forgot was like inevitably, like since we're pretty much a capitalist society almost all around the world, we want to like know which choices are better and which choices are bad to make before we make them, like which store to choose or which website to choose. And this happened to me lately, like because I'm in France now and I used to live in Canada, I don't know which stores are good or which stores will give me value for the money that I want to spend there. Since I don't have a lot of money to spend, so I'd like to know like what are the best choices or which online sites ship internationally and what kind of things they sell. So these are things that like, yeah, are pretty important in the end when you're about to make a decision and you don't want to make the wrong one. So if you can see like what other people are getting from certain places, it can help and it can avoid frustration and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's another positive point. Yeah. Okay, and I guess we'll move on to the negative because These are the things that are troubling me about when I think about hauls. I feel kind of like uncomfortable and a little bit like, ugh, why are these people doing this? And I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable. And I used to be someone, my cat, stop doing that! Okay, so when I was young, I think I've been influenced by YouTube since I was like 15 or 16, and I noticed weird things. Like when I was young, I made a channel and it had like makeup and shoes and clothes and stuff, and I think that was fun and it helped me grow in that part of my life, and it was cool seeing what other people were doing and buying and wearing and stuff like that, because when you're a girl and a teenager, and probably a male and a teenager too, you're interested in yourself and developing your visual identity and stuff like that. Anyways, so and then I made like haul videos, and then I took them down because I felt really embarrassed. I was like, well, why do I feel like people should watch what I'm buying? And it's kind of awkward to me. Anyways, this is something that bothers me a little bit, but the thing that really bothers me about hauls is that it kind of like, it skews reality. It's like a really one-sided thing. It's like if you watch someone raving about the things they buy in the store near them, and how cheap they were and how many things they bought, you're kind of like losing the other aspect, which is like all the side effects of those things being in a store, of those things being made, especially clothing. There's sweatshops, there's like deforestation, there's countries that get taken advantage of and people that get taken advantage of and have really low wages. And this is a reality that like unfortunately is part of consumerism, and it really saddens me, it disgusts me and stuff. And I think it's also a vicious cycle, because if you are someone who needs to look for cheap things, like me, a lot of young people, a lot of students, we need to have cheap choices because we don't really have that much disposable income, and we still want to like have pride in ourselves and our possessions. So we look for the best options in our range, which are usually ones that make other people in other countries suffer because of where the clothing is made or where anything is made. And I just think it's like a really unfortunate reality, because I don't think we can do much about it. I'd like to think we can, but I don't know how much we can do about it. And I don't want to think that hauls and consumerism in general encourages these types of things, but I think it does in a small way or in a big way. I don't know. And it's hard to avoid thinking and making these connections for someone who, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are also critical of these types of things and make too many connections, and this kind of stuff makes me really nervous and doesn't let me function as easily as I see others functioning. So it's troubling, but I think it's good to realize, and I think more people need to realize. And this is kind of why I'm making this video, because even if nobody watches it, it's at least I'm talking through my own thoughts with myself, at least, about connections that are hard to make and hard to deal with, but have to be dealt with by somebody, I guess. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone thinking these things, so yeah. And okay, so another negative thing I think comes from hauls and the haul mentality is that, at least for me as a young girl, when I was watching other people show me all the stuff they bought on their camera, or not show me, but like show their audience, I was like, oh, this girl is so cool because she has so many cool clothes, and I'm not cool because I don't have all these cool clothes. So I think this is about identity and how when we don't have a really strong sense of ourselves and just who we are naturally, without possessions, or without attaching too much meaning to possessions, we tend to like put a lot of meanings in our objects and our materials and material possessions and stuff. So we can lose our like real identity, which is just us and what we like at the base, and put it too much into like what we have. So you think you have a cool backpack, or you think you have a cool jacket, or you think you have a cool wardrobe, and this becomes who you are when it doesn't have to really be who you are. And I think if you're having fun with it and you're not attaching too much meaning to it, like you could lose your wardrobe and still respect yourself and have fun with who you are, then that's cool. Some people have an easier time than others detaching their their possessions from who they are. So I think the whole halls and identity and like your goods that you have making you a cooler person is only really dangerous for people who have like a low sense of self. But that's a surprising amount of people, and especially young people who are very susceptible to thoughts and insecurities and stuff. So I think that this is a risk that like people should think about, and it's not fun to think about it. It's really not fun to think about it, but I think it exists, and I think about it sometimes, yeah. Okay, one last thing I wanted to say. I don't know if you heard my husband laughing. Anyway, one last thing I wanted to say is that I think I touched on it before, but the fact that like people like me who don't have like tons of money and want to still have like things that we feel good about, not like that make us feel like we're better, but I still want to have a few, like I like this shirt because it has flowers on it, and I'd rather not wear a shirt that had something I didn't like, or anyways. And the fact that this shirt is cheap, and a lot of stuff I have is cheap and is probably made in not good conditions for the workers and stuff like that, all those things, like we kind of feed into this vicious cycle of like low price things with low advantage for the people making it, and it kind of just it's part of this like capitalism, like really nasty cycle of I'm poor, so I buy things that are bad and encourage practices that shouldn't be encouraged. But I'm never gonna become a person who can like I might become a person who can influence this and stop this, but usually like there's kind of a pool of us who encourage these practices even if we don't want to, and it kind of just continues and continues, and like I don't know if there's any way to stop it. And I don't think that like hauls or people enjoying purchasing things that they like creates this, but it's just a troubling connection I make. So anyways, this is just something that bothers me. I don't know if I worded it really well. It's basically just the idea that like since we're encouraging this since we're using our money towards things like cheap clothes, we're encouraging it, and if we're encouraging it, then it will continue to exist because the people selling it to us see that they have to make it available, and they're also gaining from making it available, and we're gaining too. So if enough people are gaining, we can forget about the people who are suffering, really. I don't say that with pride, but like that's basically how it works, and it's really sad because we do have this like us and them mentality, which is like, cool, look at all my stuff, and I have all this stuff, and I was able to get it, and it's awesome. And then like the people who are suffering, we don't look at them anymore because it makes us uncomfortable. Yeah, but they still exist, so please think about it. And I just wanted to include like at the end, if like, okay, this video is kind of depressing because it's about, you know, both sides, a good one and a bad one, of how I see these hauls and stuff. But still, I think that the solution probably isn't to guilt me, to guilt myself, or to guilt somebody else out of doing something. I feel like that's really negative, and it might not be the perfect solution. Like, if I think I went from like loving hauls when I was a kid because I was like, wow, cool, fun, and I totally didn't know there was bad sides to it, to later on really hating them and being like, this is a disgusting low life practice, which now I don't think it's so bad, because it's the faults that it has aren't created by it. It's just a fun, positive way to share things, and people are having fun, and people like knowing about other people's lives, I think. So it's fun, and people should have fun, and people should enjoy interactions and go on positive things about their life. So I think it's a very good thing, but it just has all these negative things to me sometimes. Like, I'm sure other people have negative connections sometimes when they see something. So anyway, it's not to say that like anybody should stop or anything. I don't think anybody should stop, and I should probably make a whole video too and just kind of relax about it, because I'm not creating, I don't want people to suffer in other countries to make my clothes. And I don't know, now I don't know, like when I say that I don't know, like who knows how to fix anything, but it's probably not by being negative that we fix things. I don't know. Help me. I don't know how to change this, but I just wanted to talk about it, and I know I didn't word everything very well, but I just want to know, like, if anybody else thinks about these things, and if you also have this, like, not love-hate, but, like, ambivalence about certain things, especially on YouTube. Like, that's why I'm putting it on YouTube, this thing, to talk about it. So if you have any kind of, like, videos that you see them and you're like, I really like to enjoy this, but there's elements keeping me from enjoying it, let me know. And even this type of video, I have conflicting thoughts about, so let me know if you have anything like that. I would like to know, because I like to basically only making this to relate to somebody. So, okay, bye, thanks for listening if you did. Have a nice day. I just wanted to say that I know I haven't presented a solution, and I don't know the solution, but I think it's a mix of being critical and self-examining, and also just having fun and embracing just life, I guess, and not taking everything so seriously, but also taking things a little bit seriously. I don't know, like a mix of the two, a healthy mix of the two. Anyways, thanks.